Okay, so the reason we're using Illustrator is, like I said, Illustrator is good at putting composition together. We use Photoshop to manipulate the Photoshop, which is what Photoshop does good, really well. So we kind of corrected or adjusted the images in Photoshop, and then we'll bring those into Illustrator to compose our boards. So right now it's on, we have a guide layer. I want to create a new guide or new layer by just clicking onto the new layer icon, and layer 3 would appear. If I change that to background, change the name to background, and make it the current layer that you're working on by highlighting the background layer. I will then go ahead and go File, Place, and from my folder, which is there, my ARCH122, mine is in Spring Woodland Package, I'm going to select the angel background layer that I just made. So I've select that, and I'm going to hit link. Okay. Do you guys remember when you were doing AutoCAD and you took a picture or something and placed it into your AutoCAD file, and that was a link that was basically referencing the photos? You were asked to put the photo in the same location as your AutoCAD drawing, right? I would suggest that you do that here now as well when you save this board. Put your wherever your board is, take all your picture and place it in there, and that way it will basically always find it. Sometimes if it loses that link, you can re-link the thing, but you know, just make your life a little bit easier. Okay, so place, and it says 1:1. I'm going to click right there. So it just came in 1:1. There's a way to make scale, place it in scale, and I'll show you that a little bit later when we actually draw a floor plan and put it into Illustrator and you want it to a certain scale. Okay, so if you drew a 1:1 size building, you want to scale it to 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, you can do that. But for now, go ahead, and since we made this image the exact size that we made, we'll place it right on this corner right here. Alright, and then when you're done, hit enter or escape or out in space somewhere. Okay, right here it is. Whenever I hover over it, it's giving me a, hey, you know, it's giving me a warning, hey, this is what you're selecting. If I right click on that, or if I go ahead and make this into a locked layer, it will no longer select it. So I want to leave this exactly where it is, so I'm going to lock this thing. Okay. So there I have placed my background file. I'm going to place other images too. For that, I'm going to make another layer, create new layer, and turn this to, let's say, floor plan or drawing, I don't care. Put that as a current layer, and then I'm going to do the same operation, place, and I'm going to select the floor plan in the PSD, place, and right now I'm just going to place it out here and I'll move it later, okay? And do the same with the section. So place, section, there it is, and I have these two images. So a couple of the reasons that I placed it instead of just copying it onto the file, this is linked so that I could always manipulate the Photoshop file that I did, and then we could make it to upload into my final presentation board. If you don't, you're going to have to insert it again. The other thing is that linking the file will make the file size smaller because it's not really physically on this Illustrator program. It's just referencing that photo, so it'll make the file smaller so that you could send it through email and such, and it might make the printing process a little bit easier. Okay, so I recommend to place these images in, but just keep in mind that if you place it, you need to link it, and then when you link it, you need to know where all your files or images are. Okay, if you send this Illustrator file to a printer without these pictures as well, they will not be able to see it. So just a bit of warning, heads up, be careful about that. Okay,